Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our inside look for Q4 at our product roadmap. Thanks for joining us all today. We're really excited to share a little bit of what we have coming up for you. So let's jump right in. A quick agenda, as we did during Q3, I'm just going to run through a little bit of what we consider to be sort of our product vision and why we exist. Then we'll go through a few feature highlights of what we shipped in the last couple months, just to make sure everybody's aware. And then we'll spend the bulk of it focused on what is coming. Just to jump in a little bit to Front's product vision. Quick history, we started the company in 2014, 2015, and obviously we spent the first 3 years just building the product foundations that you see today. So team inboxes, rules, analytics, integrations, all of these had their beginnings in that first 3 years. We then took the next 2 years and really focused on the inbox experience. We did a full architecture redesign. We rolled out things like individual folders and internal discussions, and added our calendar product. And this year, what we're focusing on is getting back to those core foundations, but making sure they work at scale. So we have a huge investment on workflows, huge investment on analytics, making sure our collaboration is there, and then always making sure that Front is incredibly easy to use and adopt. And our goal is to build a customer communications platform that allows companies to offer the best communication at scale. That last part is so important. Best customer communication experience at scale. And hopefully that's what you're going to see a lot of today. But what do we mean by this? A couple of the tenets that we believe in that ladder up to this message are this. First of all, making sure that you have one place for all of your written communication, whether it's SMS, WhatsApp, text, email, or any of the other channels that you might want to use there. All of it can be filtered into one place. Making sure that you can add to that communication complete context about customers. So you always are able to tie information about the person to the conversation itself, and also be able to obviously use that in your analytics and your workflows. From an analytics perspective, we want to be able to make sure you can see all of the metrics that are important to you, answer the key questions around team performance, around volume, around your customer experience, all right within Front. Making sure that you can use workflows across your teams and channels. So making sure that things like your individual inboxes or your SMS channel aren't having to be done workflows in a separate tool or a separate place. And then finally, making sure all of the stuff that I just talked about is accessible via one unified API. So across every channel, there's a simple, object for messages, conversations, and then on the flip side, one clear way to assign, tag, classify, and get that communication to your employees all in a programmatic fashion as well. So, again, just to recap, scaled workflows, unified visibility and insights, a full communication timeline, and seamless collaboration are some of the key tentpoles that we believe make up great customer communication at scale. So what have we been shipping towards that? Let me show you. So a couple of highlights. The first, I'd like to start on workflows, and we have been releasing a ton of really cool stuff on workflows. Hopefully you all have noticed this, but if you haven't, here's a selection of the workflow improvements that we've released over the past, call it 3 or 4 months. We've made significant improvements to our load balancing product. So some of you may not be aware, but you can actually set load balancing. So when you're assigning out of a inbox to a group of individuals, you can actually make sure that there's set limits based on every single individual. This is hugely helpful when you have a lot of volume. You don't want people to get overloaded. And what we did in the 2.0 version is made that assignment faster, made it more reliable, and generally improved the experience of using load balancing. So if you haven't tested out load balancing and you have a high volume inbox, this can be a great tool to make sure that your team can scale and really be successful there. We also harmonized all of the triggers in our rule editor. So we went through and noticed that some of the triggers were not available under certain win conditions. So you might not have been able to respond if you're using a win tagged trigger. We have cleaned all of that up. So you can now use all of the triggers for all of the win conditions, and it's completely seamless. Additionally, we've rolled out a brand new homepage for administrators. So if you've been with our settings recently, you'll notice that there's a full now set of help guides and other things that you can use to learn information on your own and find quick shortcuts to key information within Front. And that's only going to get better. Now that we have this admin homepage, we're going to be expanding it and really adding a lot of cool stuff to it, and some of which I'll talk about in a bit. We also improved adding channels. So we know that, adding channels is a potentially, difficult task. You have to go into, potentially your Google or Microsoft Office settings to do this. And so we've added a step-by-step guide to actually allow you to do that and really make sure that it's super simple. We've added screen grabs so that it's very easy to set up a channel on Front. We've added huge amounts of information to the inboxes section of settings to make sure that you can easily see how your routing is actually working. So what channels are coming in to what inbox, and are they actually getting moved out of that inbox by rules? So notice we added cool things like a routing diagram right here that shows you messages moving into an inbox here. But along the side here, we've also added key information around rules and channels so you can easily access what rules are currently affecting a given inbox and quickly diagnose, change, or add to them. It's really cool, and it makes managing this far simpler. We rolled out, and we've talked about this before, but I think it just bears repeating, we've rolled out an SLA workflow builder. So building SLAs now is a simple one-click recipe within Front's rule engine. We know how important SLAs are. Everybody should have them, know them, and be able to measure them. And we added this SLA workflow and a corresponding SLA report to our analytics to make sure people could actually do just that. We've just rolled out our rules library and our ability to have a brand new way of editing rules. So many of you may have discovered this already, but sometimes it was difficult to figure out what should I be doing with these rules. Now we have a full library which suggests easy things that you can do, like assign based on sender, custom assign with load balancing, and this is just one category. We have many other categories, and it's so exciting. We've also simplified the rule builder so that it's easy to figure out how to build these rules. It's still got the same power. You can always click on more options and get the same power that you had before, but it's now in an easier to use and more streamlined package. On an analytics perspective, we've added a couple of really cool things. We have brand new report types. Like this is our new inbox report with a heat map to actually show you when your message volume is high and low. And so we've got tons of new reports. The other thing we rolled out is the ability to actually trigger email reports automatically sent to you from Front. And this is really helpful. Anybody can get it. It helps remind you to actually look at the analytics or not have to actually click it and generate them yourself, but actually get that analytics sent directly to you. Hugely helpful. And I would encourage everybody to set up those schedule reports so that they can easily see their analytics without having to go into the application every single day. Finally, on the collaboration side, we've added a ton of new ways to collaborate within Front. You can now pin a comment. So if you want to have a conversation summary or important information that other people should know, We've added the ability to pin up here. You can see right there. And then down here, you can see now there's a huge header that notifies people that there's been comments that are pinned. You can click it and see it. Very powerful feature, and one I would encourage everybody to use, especially if you have long conversations with your customers. Our conversation summary adds the ability to sort of quickly get out all the important information out of a conversation right away. So you have attachments, pinned comments, which teammates are actively looking at the message and when did they look at it, all very helpful. We've also added a recent communication indicator. This is one of the features I really enjoy that we rolled out in the last quarter. And what it does is it alerts you if there's been other people communicating with the same person within the last 7 days. And this is so important because oftentimes in an organization, you get issues where a customer writes into one team, they give one answer, then they write into another team, and that other team isn't aware that somebody is already talking with this person. And so this alert actually tells you, hey, there's been other things there's been other conversations with the same customer, and allows you to quickly view them in our customer sidebar. Very powerful. Highly encourage everybody to check it out and use this feature. It's a great way to avoid collisions within your own organization. So this is a quick highlight, tons of things on workflows, lots on routing and rules, massive upgrades there. We've rolled out new analytics and made them easier to access via our email analytics report, and rolled out brand new collaboration features. But now the part that you all joined for, which is what's coming down the pipe. And as part of this, I've actually invited Gabe, who's a product manager at Front, who's leading our feature that we wanted to spotlight initiative that we wanted to feature today. And he's going to go ahead and walk you all through what our plan is for analytics, which is a huge initiative that we have upcoming in the next quarter. Gabe, take it away.
All right, thanks, Nate. As Nate mentioned, my name's Gabe. I'm a product manager at Front focusing on analytics, and I'm really excited to share with you a little today about where we're headed over the next few months. So before we dive in, I'll start with where we've been. In the first 9 months of this year, we're really focused on developing brand new analytics capabilities. So just a few highlights of what we've shipped recently. We rebuilt our analytics engine for much faster performance. We also, as Nate mentioned, delivered new reports like SLAs, inbox, tags, T-performance. These were designed to give you insights that previously weren't possible. And we also, as Nate mentioned, shipped a new ability to actually schedule a report and have it delivered to your inbox. But as we look towards the future, we partner with a number of you to understand sort of your needs and pain points. And what we came to from that user research and survey is it was time to really rethink the way analytics worked. And so over the next few months, we're going to be working on building the analytics experience from the ground up. We're going to make it easier to tie metrics to business value, easier to navigate and create reports, and easier to validate metrics and drill down for more detail. So let me show you what I mean by that. Some of these things are a little bit still in concept, not final, but they should give you a sense of what we're up to. So the first thing we're working on is clearer reports with new visuals. Every single report will be getting a facelift, and in some cases, reports are going to be entirely reconstructed. In doing this, we want to make sure the reports contain enough information to deliver insights, but not too much to overwhelm. We're also going to be investing in some customization capabilities here to allow you to see the metrics that are most relevant to you. And so what you see on this page is a sample of an overview type report that would be the home page of the new analytics. The second big step we're taking is in the area of navigation and filtering. Today, not all analytics insights are really immediately discoverable. You actually have to create and save new report types to access those insights. And each save report gets added to your navigation, which can cause some cluttering and disorganization. And so what you see is that's all going to be changing in the new analytics platform. On this mock-up, you see on the left-hand side a series of menu items corresponding to different categories of insights: team performance, conversations, tags, SLAs. And then on the top of your pane, you have a set of filters that you can easily apply on the fly or to save for future use and reference. And we hope that this is going to make the overall experience of navigating around analytics and getting the insights you need far easier. The final area I wanted to cover with you is drill down capabilities. So today, if you see, for example, that your response time was 5 minutes this week, and you want to know a little bit more about that, it's actually quite difficult to dig in. You have to generate an export and go through the individual conversations at the export level. That's all going to be changing in the new analytics. When you click on a metric, you're actually going to be able to see right there from within the analytics pane the set of conversations that are driving that metric. You can browse, sort, look through, and even look at individual metrics or individual conversations to see what happened along a timeline. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you see an example of a particular conversation that someone was investigating, and they're looking into the details of that conversation. All of that's going to be possible natively within the experience. So we're hoping that customers won't have to go as deep into the exports as they do today. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. This is a project actively in development, and we anticipate releasing in beta in early next year. We're actively partnering with customers to help refine these concepts and these ideas. So if you have interest in participating, please send an email to research@frontapp.com, and we can get you set up with a time to talk with our team and contribute to this project. Thanks so much.
That is awesome. Thank you, Gabe, for coming on and chatting about analytics. I'm so excited about this project. The other thing I should have said before, but if you have questions, feel free. We have a few other folks from the product team, and Gabe are going to be here in the live stream. So if you have questions, feel free to dip into that chat and post away. We have folks who can answer questions for you and follow up with more information if you need it. So let's dive in. That was a huge look at analytics. Let's dive into the other things that we're going to be shipping in the next few months. First, on the workflow side of the house, we've got a couple of other interesting things to layer on to the huge improvements that we've made in the last few quarters. First of all, we're going to be rolling out what we call mandatory tagging. And so often it's, you want people to tag a message with specific set of tags, but you have to rely on them to remember and everything else. This will actually allow you to require them to tag before they can archive that message. And super excited about this. And you'll be able to use this shortly. Should be a huge improvement to your ability to successfully and thoroughly classify conversations in front. We're going to also allow you a big improvement on the SLA rule. And what we're going to allow you to do is, right now, SLAs just measure from time the message was received to time the message was responded to. We'll now let you actually set an SLA for any part of the process that you want. So if you want to measure not since the message was received, but since it was actually assigned or opened by one of your teammates, you can now do that. So you can benchmark different parts of your communications process internally and make your team even more efficient. Super excited about this one as well. On the collaboration side of the house, we have a couple of new features coming out. The first one is we're going to be going, and we'll talk more about this at the next webinar that we have, but during the first quarter of 2021, we're going to be releasing a huge new contacts update. And it's going to focus on allowing people to have company-wide contacts. So you have a single contact record across your whole company. It's a huge improvement. So please stay tuned and tune in to our Q1 preview for more details on this. But it's a huge initiative that we're working on today, and it's going to make contacts far more powerful and useful across the entire front application. As part of that, we're going to be releasing a brand new interface for easy updating and merging of contacts. So you see on the right, we're going to be making huge improvements to that contact details panel. And we're also going to be allowing you to easily consolidate and merge right in the app. Super excited about this and fixing some of the big issues that we have with contacts. We're going to be releasing something we call team trials. This will actually allow you, if there's other teams within your company who want to test front, this makes it far easier for them to pilot and actually test alongside our customer success team. And I'm really excited about this. On the ease of use side of the house, there's a few things that we're going to be rolling out. The first is on the compliance side, data retention. So instead of having to work with your email provider or something else, you can do data retention straight from front. This is a huge improvement, especially for our legal teams on the phone. I imagine there's some folks who are really excited about this. We're also going to be rolling out a global search through our settings. So I mentioned improvements that we're making to that admin homepage. One of the huge ones is being able to actually search for things within settings. We know there's a lot of settings. You potentially have hundreds or thousands of inboxes, and this will allow you to quickly navigate and find things within our settings pane. We're going to be spending a lot of time on P1 organization. So that's the first sidebar in front sometimes can become crowded. Right now, you can't order it. It just auto orders itself. So we're going to be making a lot of changes to making your side panel and your inbox list far more organized. Finally, we're going to allow you to categorize your canned response folders. Super excited about this. Right now, you can have so many canned responses and it can be difficult to find. Now you can actually categorize those in easy to find places so people can browse and find exactly what they're looking for. Finally, super excited about this. We are finally consolidating our scheduling product, which is MeetingBird, directly into the application. You'll be able to insert a scheduling link directly from the composer, build new scheduling links. And this means that offline conversations and scheduling things on your calendar are fit seamlessly right into our communications platform, something very powerful. Finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about our mobile product. We are going to be releasing a brand new Android app during Q4, and I'm so excited about this. We've been rebuilding it from the bottom up for speed, for navigation, and making it easier to do all of the things you do on mobile. Reading, quickly replying, archiving, so simple. So a couple of teaser screenshots, but it's been fully redesigned from the bottom up and easy to use, quick triage methods. It's going to be an incredible leap forward from a mobile experience perspective, and that will be coming in Q4. So with that, just to recap, big improvements on analytics. We've got a couple of really cool features on workflows. Our collaboration is going to get even easier and teaser for some of the future improvements coming with contacts. Finally, we have a ton of things that are going to make front easier to use and better for people like compliance and legal. And finally, a huge improvement on the mobile side of the house. So I'm super excited about our roadmap. Can't wait to roll all of these out. If you have any questions, again, feel free to ping us in the chat. And as always, you can write in to support@frontapp.com. We're happy to help you with any questions or thoughts that you have. Thanks everybody for attending, and we'll talk to you soon.